General anxiety disorder is something I've been diagnosed with. It is a mental illness. It's GAD, and a lot of people don't understand what GAD is. They'll hear that and they'll be like, what are you talking about? It's general anxiety disorder, and it's not being anxious. It's general anxiety disorder. It's one of those things that you don't self-diagnose yourself with it. Go to a doctor, get with a therapist, because it is something that you have to work through because there's usually a lot of triggers in there. What ends up happening, what GAD is, and my experience with it is, I mean, just the physical symptoms is you're tired, you get a lot of sweating, you get nauseated really, really often. It does mess with your eating habits where sometimes you might overeat, sometimes you might undereat, so your weight is fluctuating all over the place. You're going to have a lot of trouble sleeping. And it all depends on what's going on here. I mean, you're easily nervous, startled. I mean, if something just pops, you're jumpy. I mean, that's the physical attributes of GAD. It's one of those that we're inside of our heads and we have difficulty understanding uncertainty. We don't do a gray area at all. If it's a gray area, it instantly goes negative. We overthink everything to every possible solution, every possible outcome, and always the outcomes are going to be negative, how we're going to get hurt. It's almost obsessing about it. It's that obsession to worry. We won't set anything aside and let go of the worry. We hold on to the worry and allow it to exhaust us. It helps you to the point where you're triggering anxiety attacks because you become trapped in your brain. There's almost a disassociation. And again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a counselor. I've been diagnosed with this shit. Where you don't feel like you. You feel like you're almost watching a movie around you. You're not here in the present. You're trapped in your thoughts. And if that gets too much, then all of a sudden an anxiety attack comes on, and now you're having trouble breathing. Your mouth is starting to drool. It feels like you have ants just crawling up your skin, and you're just going fucking bonkers. But it's that persistent, inevitable worrying, and it gets too much that everybody is judging you, that you're failing everybody, that you're a letdown, that you're a disappointment, and it is a prison up here all of a sudden. I mean, that's what GAD is. It's not that, hey, I'm afraid to ask somebody out or I'm afraid to talk in front of these people. No. It can be to the point of agoraphobia where you can't leave the house, that you literally are so self-defeating in your head that you can't leave the fucking house, that you're vomiting. I mean, if you have never vomited from anxiety before, I mean, that's when the shit's real. And I've been there. I have friends that have been there. I mean, you are vomiting. You are crying, you are breaking down, and you're just trying to pick up those pieces and go. And I will say this, one of the biggest breakthroughs I've had with it is like ripping off the fucking Band-Aid and just going at it. And God, you don't know what it's like to walk into a place and have vomit on your shirt or on your shoes because you threw up on yourself, but you still went in and did it. I can tell you this, when you're done with it, you're proud as fuck. You want a fucking gold medal when you're done with it. But that's what general anxiety disorder is. That's how self-defeating it is up here. That's how much of a beatdown it is, where we can't sleep, where you're just laying in bed and you're staring at the ceiling and the ceiling fan going around and around and wondering why you can't sleep, but trapped in your thoughts, worrying about the next day that hasn't even happened yet, of everything that's going to negatively happen to you that probably isn't going to. But yet it just doesn't fix itself. And sometimes it becomes even more and more and more to the point that it dictates and rules our lives. I mean, I struggle with it. And I have times that it's extremely difficult. I don't want to leave the house. I don't want to talk to my doctor. I don't want to talk to anybody because I'm going to fail them. I'm going to let them down. They're going to hate me. I can't do this. I'm going to be homeless on the street. I'm going to get fired from my job, whatever it might be. I mean, that's the reality of what it is. We doubt our partner, that they even love us, and why do they love us? How could they love us? They don't love us. I mean, that's the mindset we go down. And that's why there's help for it out there. I mean, it comes back down to, I mean, making it through that door with the vomit on your fucking shoes, tears running down your fucking face, but going, dude, motherfucker, I got this. I got this. I'm not going to let it own me. For some, it's not like that. For some, it's a long series of baby steps, and that's okay. That's okay. Take the baby steps. Go at it one at a time, one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. But you can fight through it. And there's a lot of coping mechanisms and stuff for it too. I mean, when it comes to like fidget spinners, when it comes to even medication if you need it. You know, it comes to fidget cubes, anxiety blankets. I mean, I share a lot about that stuff because I fucking deal with it every day. I mean, my name is Eric. I deal with PTSD, ADHD, GAD, and MDD. And general anxiety disorder is real. The struggle is real. The fight is real. But most of all, you're the fighter. You've made it to the fucking today, and that you can do it. You know, if you're overthinking everything and you have that inability to set anything aside, that inability to to let go of the restlessness, the shaking legs, the picking at your fingers, the picking at your lips, to the pulling out your hair. I mean, baby steps, and start finding out what triggers it and how to combat those triggers. You know, it might be avoiding certain situations, it might be avoiding certain people, it might be setting up some healthy boundaries. It's different for everybody. I mean, it's all trial and error. If it's too much, get with a doctor, get with a therapist, get with a psychologist, get with a psychiatrist. There is a difference between the two. One's going to give you some coping skills and sharing with you, and the other one's medication. And you know what? Do you. And don't let anyone shame you for it. Don't let anyone tell you that, oh, you just get over it. It's a process. You'll work through it, and you can do it if you don't give up, but it's a process. Just remember how important you are and how much that you do matter and that people do fucking care about you. I mean, down below, I have links to all of the affiliate tools that I use, whether it is a fidget spinner, whether it is a weighted blanket, whether it's something for depression that helps, whether it's notepads just of writing out and journaling, whether it's, you know, BetterHelp is even linked down below. I mean, I have a good friend that BetterHelp literally helped him fight through agoraphobia. You know, therapy is not something to be scared of. And if you're having trouble even making to the therapist, try it out of the inside of your house until you can get in front of a therapist. I mean, it started a nonprofit that bridges the gap between a crisis hotline and therapy, of sharing experiences, sharing tools, sharing resources so that we keep fighting through every single day because you fucking matter. That you're a BAMF. You're a badass motherfucker. You've made it through 100% of your worst days and make it through 2 today. Don't let anyone tell you any differently. You matter that much. So just keep fighting. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't. Follow along. I'd love to have you along for the journey. I'd love to hear your experiences, your tools, your shares, whatever it might be that may help somebody else out, because the more that we share, the more that we help somebody that's suffering silently. And together we can do this. Together we can fight through. Together we can make it out that fucking front door. Hit that like and subscribe button. Love to have you with me.